on Divorce Court today. Can a contract for intimacy really keep a couple together? Rachel and James have been separated for years, but still share a roof and sometimes a bed. James DuBose and Rachel DuBose have brought their dispute for Judge Lynn Toler to resolve. Testimony in Divorce Court starts now.
Mr. DuBose, you have brought your wife here for a very interesting thing. You want me to enforce a postmarital contract for sufficient sex. Explain that to me.
Well, what it is, Your Honor, well, we came together, we decided, what we would want once we got a divorce, and to make sure that we both understood what it was. And part of that was sex, yes, Your Honor, was sex. Also, being able to see my boys when I needed to see them, and just being around.
But I heard you wrote it down.
Yes.
Can I see it?
Actually, I believe.
Oh, do you have it? Okay, Mrs. DuBose, why did you have it? Now, when he came to you with this agreement, what did he say? Oh, it's been through a thing or two, huh? Go ahead. But what did he say to you?
That is one of many contracts that's been written.
You do this regularly?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of contracts does he want you to sign?
It's always about sex.
Oh.
It's always about sex. That's been one of the biggest things. It's sex. Like, if I ask him to take me somewhere, well, what are you going to do for me? Not what are you going to get me, but what are you going to do for me?
So everything is barter and exchange with you guys. There's no... Let's read this. I, Rachel Johnson DuBose, want you to take care of the boys. Don't bother me about... And then something was blacked out. I don't know what that is. And I'm not even going to ask. Keep your weekends with the boys unless discussed otherwise. And you, in return, Mr. DuBose, said, I, James DuBose, want sex 3 times a week and something else at least once a week that's not included in the regular sex. Then you say you want to be able to see your boys without any problems and both to make decisions for them. And you both signed it.
Correct.
I always sign them. That don't mean I'm going to do them.
Hey, what's the point of signing them? I don't get that. Then why sign them?
Mr. DuBose, you're here because apparently she isn't doing them. Tell me where she has failed with respect to performing on these contracts.
The sex.
She just won't do it.
It's not that she won't do it. It's more of, I guess, or, well, be quick and I'm going to be on the phone or...
I'm going to be on the phone.
Or reading a book, or,
If you wait till tomorrow, it'll be really good. There'll be some tricks involved, and, or you can do it when you get in from work or before you go to work.
Now, let me ask you this. You guys consider yourselves separated, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
And you sleep in different bedrooms.
Correct.
And this agreement was a function of part of that separation, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you've been doing this for about a year, is that accurate? Been separated for about a year?
We've been separated.
No.
My youngest is going to be 5, so we've been separated for about 5 years.
You've been separated for 5 years, still living in the same house, writing contracts for sex.
It's not just sex. It's other stuff involved, too.
Well, what other things do you contract for?
Sex?
It's not just sex. It's like doing things, or whether it's presenting ourselves as a family for our children so they don't feel that they don't see what's actually going on. Also making sure that we have an understanding with one another when we do go out, so that, and that way there's no feelings being hurt more than what they need to be. And neither one...
When you say when you go out, you mean when you go out with when the two of you go out with other people?
Oh, I don't go out with other people.
Do you go out with other people?
Go out with other people? What do you mean? Like, besides going out with family, he's a lie. He go out all the time. We have separated weekends. So he has one weekend, I have another weekend. He's not home on his weekend.
He's gone?
He's gone. Wherever
and
he
you don't
goes.
care?
I don't care. I don't bother him.
That's a lie.
I don't bother him unless it's something needed for the house. If I say, hey, your kid is hungry, you're going to have to switch it up and do whatever it is you're going to have to do. I choose to leave. I go to the Bronx. It's where most of my friends are. I'm not staying the same.
Have either one of you moved on romantically?
Sure have.
I like her. Sure have. Mr. DuBose, have you moved on romantically?
No.
Do you secretly kind of want her back?
In the beginning, honestly. Right now, I still care about her very much without being her husband, just as a person.
As a person.
And I've known her for a long time, and so I do care about her. I still love her. I still have those feelings for her. But, I agreed to the separation because it was something that she's been asking for a while, and at times we didn't do it because, I wanted to work it out. I wanted to try counseling, try different stuff. And she did agree to that stuff, and it still didn't work out.
It didn't help, yeah.
So, it's time to give her what she wanted. And, no, I haven't moved on. I'm not ready to.
Mrs. DuBose, what didn't you like about your marriage that led to the separation?
When James went into the military, the person that I fell for was not who he was then. He became I guess a military man. Do it this way, do it that way. I tell you things on a need-to-know basis. If a bill can't get paid, I need to know. Because I don't want to be living in a car with my kid and you got a place to go and I don't. So.
Do you say things to her like, I'll tell you things on a need-to-know basis?
Yes, I definitely say certain things you need to know, certain things you don't. Just like certain
Women
things...
want to know everything.
Well, see, that's...
We do. We want to know it all. We want details. We want footnotes.
Sometimes...
We got an index in the back so we can go look it up again.
All right, sometimes that's not possible. It's like I wouldn't expect her to tell me everything. There's some things that I obviously can't know, or and I understand it. I accept that. She can't accept that at all.
Okay. Mr. DuBose, are you financially responsible for what's going on in the house? Are you both working, or are you holding it down?
I'm working. We both contribute to the house. I have a steady income, and I get more than what she does, so we both do contribute to the household.
Gotcha. I know you have some issues about lies you believe your wife has told with respect to her whereabouts, and I want to go on and look at those.
Next, did Jane's snooping uncover a harmless deception or infidelity? Divorce isn't easy. If you need help with your breakup, call toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt. Divorce Court. Real relationships, raw emotion. Testimony continues now.
Mr. DuBose, I understand you have hard evidence that Mrs. DuBose cheated on you.
Well, Rachel likes to celebrate her birthday the whole month, not just the day, not just the week, the entire month.
The whole month?
I only got 28 days. Why not?
I don't know what to say about it. Hey, go ahead.
But anyway, she wanted me to watch the boys because she was going to go to the Bronx and hang out for a week in the city, family, friends. Sure. And I'm like, sure, whatever. I don't have nothing to do. It doesn't matter to me. Go have fun. So she comes back. A couple of days later, I find a bag of Delta peanuts on top of the refrigerator, in the back of the refrigerator behind some stuff. And at first, I didn't think nothing of it. And then my brain was like, yeah, you're going to start thinking about it now. I was like, so then, of course, I go through her stuff. I went through her stuff, and I find pictures of her and somebody else in Florida and, in this place. And so I asked about it. Did you go to Florida with such a person? And she was like, no. I didn't go. And she's like, if I did go, how would you find that out? And I was like, and I got tired of playing the games. So, all right, I went through your stuff. I saw the pictures. Let's go. What's your answer? And she said...
Hang on. What was your answer?
I went. I ain't lie, and it wasn't peanuts, they was cookies, and I didn't put them on top of the refrigerator because I'm only 5'1". It was a blanket he found. A blanket, a big red blanket that said Delta on it. And
you weren't hiding the fact that you were going there?
No. I didn't tell him. I didn't hide it. I just didn't tell him.
Just didn't tell him. You didn't think it was any of his business? Because you guys were already separated, correct?
Didn't tell him, yep.
No, we wasn't separated at the time.
We were separated because on my 25th birthday, that's when you walked out. My Florida trip wasn't planned. It was oh my God, we're going. I already paid for it. If you paid for it, I'm going to go. You spent your money, so I'm going.
It seems to me that things have been sour for a long time. 5 years separated in the same house is very deep. At some point, however, things must have been good and then gone south. Tell me a little bit about the beginning and then why all of a sudden you don't like each other anymore.
My cousin introduced us. When I saw her, I fell in love with her when I first saw her, and I always tell her it was her eyes. I'm not a bit of a ladies' man. I don't have game or talk. I get real nervous. So we was leaving school, her, myself, and my cousin, and
he followed me.
It wasn't following. It was more of walking in the same direction. So anyway, I found while I was walking, she dropped her errand, put it in my pocket, and we just started talking, and. She was like, I noticed she started looking for something. I said, what are you looking for? She's like, my errand. And I was like, I can find anything. She's like, how are you going to find it? I was like, let's make a bet. She's like, what do you want to bet? If I find it, then I'll get to kiss you. And she was like, all right.
I should have known then he was going to be writing contracts, because who bets a kiss over there?
Yeah. You are bitten to barter and exchange and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad way to go. But anyway, did you get your kiss?
Oh, yeah, I did. It was good.
When did you get sick of him? I like him. When did you get sick of him?
I don't know. Once he went into the military, he was just like...
Oh, he just came home a sergeant and you didn't like that new attitude?
I wanted to punch him in the face every other day.
What if he lightened up a little bit? Would you keep him?
He hasn't lightened up in how many years?
You're the one that feels I haven't lightened up. I can't answer that.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. DuBose. Do you see a difference in your behavior before and after your stint in the military?
Definitely.
Okay. Do you understand the nature of the problem that she has with the man you came back as?
No.
And I'm going to
You see the difference, though.
I see the difference in what she says. I don't feel that the two are different. I feel that the two are the same. They just look at the word differently now.
Yeah, the person I fell for was...
She doesn't like how you behave now. You've changed your behavior. See what I'm saying?
I understand. But
because you still love her.
Yes.
And you would like her to just move on back in the bedroom.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, well, then I'm wasting my time.
When divorce court continues, did James abandon Rachel when she gave birth to their second son?
Do you think James has a right to enforce his intimate contract? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call now.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and join the conversation on Twitter at Divorce Court. Real relationships, raw emotion. Divorce Court continues.
So while I was busy trying to fix a marriage that nobody wants to fix, let's talk about this. You say he abandoned you long ago, even though that you're living in the same house. Explain that to me.
Anybody that would rather go to school or go to work or go hang out when your son is premature, I don't see what's the sense of working through anything or even attempting to be there for that person anymore. That's what he did. I was 7.5 months when I had my son. And I think he says he was there more than that, but I know for a fact he came with me twice to the hospital. I know he dropped off a couple of milk bottles that I was pumping and then went about his business.
How long were you still in the hospital, or did they just kept the baby?
They kept the baby. I was in the hospital for about maybe a week or two.
And they kept him for a couple months?
Yep. He was born in October. He got out the 22nd of December.
Did you show up a little light when that grand event occurred?
No, here's my take on that. We had an older son, and I felt that I can't breastfeed, I can't give our youngest son at the time the attention that his mom can give him. And so I said, you stay with him most of the time, I'll stay with our older son, and then I'll come and visit once he goes to school and once I'm done working and stuff like that. That was the discussion that we had. And she agreed and said that it made sense. Now, I feel that she feels that I didn't go as much as she thought that I should have went, so therefore that made it that I abandoned her.
I'm sorry, but anybody that would rather go to school for however long he was going to school, you can take the time off to not go to school because you want to work, but you can't take the time off to not go to school to come see your son, and you weren't going to the hospital because I was there from when the shift changed to when the shift changed to when the shift changed. After emergency
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Bose, woo! I mean, your baby's in the hospital, sick, premature. How could you not want to go every day?
I didn't go every day. I went every other day, and that wasn't good enough for her. Like, Rachel lives in this world where if it's not done how she wants it, then it's just wrong.
Oh, no, that's you. Because I'm a free spirit, and he has to follow the rules of the world.
Let me ask you this. How are things at home? Are you guys this cool, calm, and collected around the kids? Or do they think what's going on is weird, or they're together?
I try, for my kids, I try to be cordial with him. It's just extremely hard. I'm not...
Are you fussing and fighting at home?
Yeah, and I try to walk away, but...
When?
James needs to get what he says out. I put my headphones on, I'll go into my book, I'll read, and I tune him out. And that causes broken phones and messed up headphones and stuff being pulled out and batteries being replaced.
Yanked out and all that kind of stuff. So do you feel like she doesn't listen to you?
Yes, but that stuff hasn't happened in a while. And when I say a while, I don't mean like 2 weeks. I mean like almost a year ago. You know, we talk. We still disagree on stuff because we're human and that's what people do. You know, we still sometimes argue in front of them, but then we realize what's going on and we stop. Or I may not stop as fast as she do. I will admit that because when I get upset, I get upset, and it takes a while for me to come down from being upset and recognize what's happening. But you know, we talk. We still. I don't know. I guess I'm the one that's seeing things different then. Yeah,
I got you. I understand what you said. It's an interesting arrangement, and I want to talk to you about that.
Judge Lynn Toler's ruling next. Divorce Court. Judge Lynn Toler's ruling right now.
First of all, I'm not sure if I should applaud you guys or just look at you funny. On one level, I think you've done a wonderful thing. Enabled yourselves to both remain in the home with your children, and I take it the fussing and fighting isn't too much, but they don't have that broken family. Even though you live separate personal lives, you have a joint care and love for your children in one home, and I think that's a very creative and a commendable resolution to the problem. Are your kids happy? They're good?
As far as I know.
Yeah, I mean, we still go on family trips. You know, we still do stuff with them as a family. You know, so there's never any, oh, okay, well, it's just mommy or it's just daddy. You know, we still do stuff as a whole.
I'm impressed by that. I think that takes a great deal of maturity, and I I think it's an example to other people, and I'm impressed by that. Now let me talk about this, Mr. DuBose. I cannot award you sex. I cannot tell her to go home so she can perform whatever got blacked out on here. You know what I'm saying? You can't contract for sex. It's against public policy. Not only it's just tacky and rude, and you live separate lives. You get that other thing from other people because you're no longer together, and you can't request of her, bodily and emotional attention because you just need it so she can stay in the house. Can't do that. She's separated. You go find love. I don't know. I think she might have already found love. But move forward. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so.
Rachel has moved on and is happy in her new relationship. Post a comment or submit your case at divorcecourt.com or call toll-free 1-877-311-2222. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Divorce Court.